Well, as we get ready for the Wild West Shootout coming up in January 2022 here at Vado Speedway Park, everybody wants to know what is there to do around the racetrack, and we thought no better person to tell us than the general manager of the racetrack, Chris Steppen. Chris, you've been living out here for over a year now. I want to know, what's some of your favorite things to do when you're not at the racetrack?
You know, there's actually a lot of really cool stuff in the desert Southwest, whether you're a hiker or whether you're a casino person or whether you're just really like good food. All of that stuff happens here. Hiking wise, right over here is the Oregon Mountains right behind us. There's a lot of great spots between Aguirre Springs and Dripping Springs and the actual Oregon Mountains. The peak up there you can hike to if you want to. So people that want to go and kind of exercise a little bit, I know you're an exercise guy. If you want to go do that, there's a lot of stuff to do right there. The Rio Grande River runs right through Las Cruces, so that's kind of a neat area right there as well. Casinos, we've got some casinos here. Sunland Park is not too far, about 10 miles or so down the road, right across the New Mexico-Texas border. So the casino's right there. There's a couple more casinos, I guess, a little bit north towards Alamogordo and Cloudcroft in that direction. Food, it doesn't get a whole lot better than what Las Cruces and El Paso has.
That's all I like to work out because I like to eat.
You and I talk a lot and we travel a lot, and I'm pretty big about going to really good restaurants when I travel to different parts of the country, and there's dozens of them here in Las Cruces and El Paso, from Mexican food to steak to really good Thai food to all the things you can imagine in this area of the country. So you won't go wrong finding a really good something to eat, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner here in town. Lots of other really cool stuff going on. I mean, of course, White Sands is not that far from here, about a 45 to 50 mile drive right up Highway 70. I would suggest if you've never seen White Sands, you need to go. I don't know if you've been there or not.
I have not. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you got to go. It is a really, really cool day trip to take. If you got kids with, they rent sleds. So, you know, for where I'm from in Minnesota, we sled in the winter. It's very easy with the snow. There's no snow in White Sands, but they rent sleds and they rent wax and they just wax them up and you sled down the hills. Kids and adults, I think you can probably do that too.
Cool.
But a lot of really neat stuff here. A lot of people are wondering, you know, what are we going to do? The Wild West Shootout's been in Phoenix for so long, and there's just so many things to do over there. It's a different part of the country a little bit here, but there is still a ton of cool stuff to do.
Well, and you mentioned sledding on the sand over there. If you go about an hour and a half away, you can actually ski and sled a little bit. Snow skiing, talk about those options that are about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from the racetrack.
Yeah, so I haven't done that yet, but you're exactly right. If you go straight north of here, Cloudcroft area, they've got some really good ski resorts, really good ski hills up there, and being in January, it should be really good ski weather a couple hours north here.
And I want to know, because people keep talking about, when I search it on Google and Yelp, the world's largest chili pepper. Tell me what you know about this.
You know, there's a couple of things that Las Cruces is famous for, which I found out since I lived here. The world's largest chili pepper is one. Right on Picacho Avenue, right downtown Las Cruces, there's just a giant chili pepper right there. If you know anything about New Mexico, and certainly Las Cruces, chili is a thing here. Yes. People put chili in their coffee. They put it in their ice cream. They put it in and on everything. I'm not one of those guys quite yet, but the local people put it in anything no matter what. So you're either a green person or a red person here with the chili. It's either green or red. In fact, on New Year's Eve, the ball drops in New York. The chili pepper drops here, and that's no lie.
Why not?
But you don't know if it's green or red until midnight. They trick you, and they just kind of wait with the suspense. And then there's a giant Roadrunner statue here in Las Cruces too. You got to go to the other side of town, which is where the old track used to be, right near the fairgrounds there. There's a huge Roadrunner statue at one of the rest stops there. For whatever reason, it is a focal point for people when they roll through town.
You know what? No matter what you're looking for, obviously a lot of great racing. We have some off days at the Wild West Shootout. There's a lot of fun things to do in this area. Again, you can find that at wildwestshootout.net. We've got the fun things to do. But I thought, hey, let's get it from Chris Steppen's mouth. He's the general manager here. He knows, and it's not just the Wild West Shootout. If you're in the area and you come to Vado Speedway Park, make a long weekend out of it. Check out all of this cool stuff. This is really a pretty cool area.